Icarus Lives by Periphery. We know it gents, but does it also Thall? If this question has been keeping you up at night, today you will finally get the answer. The full song will be revealed at the end of the video, but before that I will go over how I made this cover. All of the multi-tracks and stems for this cover are available on my Patreon, so you can go there to mix along with me and do what you want with these stems. But without further ado, let's get right into this track. And of course it starts with the classic Icarus Lives riff. So I thought I would go through just one by one the instruments here, starting with the drums. So here it's leaving a lot of space and following the bass quite closely, I would say. Moving to the bass, I'm actually trying out the nollie bass from Get Good Drums here. My goal was to have almost a synthy sound for this bass. It's sounding like this. I just want to illustrate here how much difference processing the bass before the distortion can make. I'm gonna remove the processing and then I'm gonna engage it and show you just how much of a difference it actually makes. Boosting a lot of highs essentially, compressing it a bit, and also some subs here using the Pro Q3. So you can hear how boxy it gets when I engage it. It just scoops the tone and is perfect in my opinion for a mix of this style. Moving on to guitar, I'm using the Hydra, my favorite MIDI guitar. I'm using essentially the same settings for the tone as I did in my HLB MIDI video. What I want to highlight here is how to use pitch shifting functions to get the really Thall-y sound for the guitar. So to illustrate that, I'm gonna use the first verse of the song. Alright, so moving into the guitar. This is the quintessential Thall sound in my opinion. Just this pitchy sound. Whee! It's really cool. I'm using the Gojira amp here, and I'm using the Fatso pedal, which is a pitch shifting pedal, at around 60%, so quite heavily actually. I'm gonna use a different section here just to show you the difference between having this engaged and not, and you will find that it loses so much thickness when I disengage it. I'm gonna start with it off and then engage it. Essentially, this is adding an octave below, like an octave pedal, to make the guitar sound lower tuned than it actually is. Before the amp, I'm using a second instance of the Gojira, but just using the pedal section in the blade setting. And I'm gonna show you what I'm doing here for this part, showing the automation. All right, so what I'm doing here is, firstly, I'm activating the pitch section only for this part. Then I'm also automating the position from 0 up to max for this blade pedal. So it's essentially moving the tone an octave above, but I want it to have this whee! And if I'm not activating it from 0 to max, I'm not getting this effect. It will like instantly be at the top octave. I'm gonna show you the difference. This is if I just have it engaged all the time. But if I rather have it down first and then engaging it, you get this whee! which is making it sound so much more organic and realistic in my opinion, and is a huge part of the sound. Also, I'm using it here where I'm automating the volume up, so it's this kind of effect. And it's really just a tremolo articulation on the guitars. This is what it sounds like, but with everything engaged here. I also use quite a lot of radio guitars. This is just using the archetype Nolly with the radio preset. Not using the octave effect for this one. Moving on to some of the ambient layers, we have this tremolo effect, which also is super cool in my opinion. So I'm just using the Hydra, and without anything except the amp and the reverb, it sounds like this. Then here is where the magic happens. I'm using the Soundtoys Tremolator. It's an 8-note square-shaped tremolo, so it makes it sound like this. And this creates such an eerie effect and really drives the entire song forward, in my opinion. I'm also using a more traditional, just very reverby tremolo at certain parts. It's essentially the shimmer that is doing most of the heavy lifting here. Moving on to the clean guitar, it's also using the Hydra, and I'm using the new Plini X plugin by Neural DSP. Using the Octaver compressor before the amp. I'm using the clean amp, a Bogren Digital Clean IR. Just delay and reverb inside the plugin, and it sounds then like this. It's a really stringy and super cool sound. I really love this octave sound for clean guitars. In the chorus, we have this going on. By the way, I love this effect here using the Gojira pedal. It's just too much fun. We have also a choir going on here, which is the Olympus Micro Choir. In terms of budget choirs, this is as good as it gets. Just listen to the raw sound straight out of the plugin. And also we have a articulation where they're actually singing some words. If you have any questions at all, please ask them below. I will answer them all. Without further ado, let me introduce you to the amazing vocalists that are doing the vocals on this cover. His name is Jonas, and he has a YouTube channel of his own that is called Mediocre Metal Musician, although there is really nothing mediocre about his screaming, at least. Make sure to check his YouTube channel out and also his band Daylight Between Us. The links are below in the description. Here is Icarus Lives If It Was Thall, and you know the rule. If at any point you headbang, you need to like and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy it.